Hi, everyone, and welcome to Huddle in Place with the Nine-Sided Circle. I believe we're on episode 46 today, and it is May 13th. I can't read. Yes, 13th, yep. 2020. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Noor Kyle, and I'm in Los Angeles.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Mushtaq Ali, in the Bay Area.
Yep.
In beautiful Silicon Valley. That's why the ice cream truck is out there. It's because it's Silicon Valley.
Yum. I want some.
Get it? Yuck, 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 yuck.
So funny. So, what updates do we have for today?
The world has not ended.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Working on it.
The latest in the round of open up the state protests back east have failed miserably because there is no Koch or DeVos money paying for the astroturfing. And so people are not showing up. Oh, well.
Wow. I have not heard about this, so that is quite interesting, actually.
I just read about it a few minutes ago.
Yeah. What else? Well, you were telling me about that goat thing. I want to hear about that again.
That's the best thing in the news today. 200 goats escaped into the city of San Jose this morning. They were a work crew of goats whose job was to eat the brush on the hillsides, but they decided that they needed a day off. So they spent it running around the neighborhoods in South San Jose, basically creating minor amounts of havoc, doing a little property damage, you know, those things that goats do.
Yay!
They were finally rounded up.
Yep.
And I guess they're back in their orange jumpsuits working on the sides of the roads.
Oh, well. Fun while it lasted, right?
Yep. They may do it again if they had a good enough time.
So
that was a big thing today, was the goats. We like the goats.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess I thought this was a thing already, but Mayor Garcetti in LA has just decided that we should be wearing masks even outside. I mean, I thought this was a thing already, but I guess previously it was only inside businesses and yeah, on public transit. That was the other thing. So now it's everywhere. Wear them.
Yep. So far, you're not required here to wear masks unless you're inside or cannot do effective social distancing.
Really?
So I can walk down an empty street not wearing a mask and not worry about the man leaping out from behind the bushes and giving me a ticket or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Things are getting pretty serious here, but it's because we're having a harder time than most other places in California.
Yep.
And that's ongoing. Things have plateaued, but that doesn't mean that they're settled down at all. And actually, we've had quite an uptick because things tend to mellow out over the weekend. People aren't reporting as much, but yeah. The deaths are above what I remember seeing last week, actually.
Yep.
Instead of in the 80s, it's like 100 and something today.
So this just in, do not attend choir practice. It turns out that choir practice is a great way to catch the virus if somebody has it. Because all of that singing is spilling the virus everywhere with great effort.
Right. It's a very effective way of creating
a giant gaseous cloud.
Yeah, of droplets, because speaking does that as well, and coughing obviously does that, but singing is like the in-between. And it's, yeah. And
And
the
it
other
goes
thing
on
is,
longer than a cough.
exactly, you're sustaining your exhales.
So folks, no choir practice. Be careful, not even with masks.
Mm-hmm.
You could be sorry.
Yeah, speaking of masks, I guess like the reason why this outbreak in the White House is happening right now is because they haven't really had a firm policy of mask wearing. It was kind of like because the president and Mike Pence weren't opting to wear them, it was giving everyone else the impression that, oh, you know, maybe we don't really need to commit to that either. So that has backfired on them. And at this point, yeah, pretty much everyone except likely Pence and Donald Trump are going to be wearing masks at this point because for whatever reason, God knows what that reason is, they
It
don't
is
feel comfortable wearing
unmanly.
them. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be, you know, I can't imagine any other reason except that they just feel some kind of, you know, ego threat when they wear them. So it's weird to me, but that's a phenomenon that's been happening both in the White House and in the public at large for some reason.
Yep, kind of boggles the mind. So what else in the news today, Miss Noor?
Honestly, I've just been listening to a lot of the dailies, so the news I've had has been a little bit behind the times. They finally got some movement on that case with the man who was shot in Georgia while running. And that's been something that picked up steam within the past couple of weeks after being kind of a footnote back in February, the end of February. And it's stirred up a lot of feelings about racism in America for sure, because it was I think it was 3 men, 2 of which, you know, it was a father and son. And it's hard to say what the details around what happened prior to the death were,
Yep.
but it really doesn't matter in the end because
Yep. Yeah, the right-wing media is doing its best to tar the kid who got murdered with the brush of being a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad person.
right.
And you know, which is what happens every time this happens. Oh, he was a gangster.
Right.
The kid was not a gangster. Sorry. There is no evidence that he was a gangster. He did some stupid shit when he was young. If that makes him a gangster, then I am a major gangster. I could be Don Corleone
I was gonna
for all
say,
of the
who
stupid
hasn't?
shit I did when I was
Right.
young.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things where, you know, people were already talking about the dangers of, you know, just going for a jog while you're a person of color, but this definitely emphasizes the point.
Yep. So that's going on.
Yes. And from what I understand, I'm not sure about the 3rd man who was the person who filmed the incident. I'm not sure if he's been arrested and being held in jail yet, but the father and son are. And
Without bail, which is a nice thing.
right. But the weird thing is because court, I think they want a grand jury hearing or something like that, and those are on hold until the pandemic settles down a bit. So they're just sitting in jail waiting for their hearing at this point. And that adds you know, an additional layer.
Since they've already been charged, they actually don't need a grand jury hearing.
Yeah.
A grand jury's job is to determine whether or not somebody should be charged with a crime. These guys are already charged with the crime.
Yep.
So
that is a story that's in its unfolding right now. And it's stirred up, as I said, a lot of strong feelings on, you know, the people who are in support of citizens arrests and all that stuff, and people who are really frustrated about, race relations in this country.
Yep. So today in irony, John Cornyn, the senator, right-wing asshole, who has been fighting to repeal Obamacare since 15 minutes after it became law, is now encouraging people to sign up for it.
Interesting. What's that about? Is there a reasoning?
Yeah, because people have no health insurance. And his constituents have no health insurance, and they're getting really freaked out.
I see. See, we could have seen this coming,
Yep.
And some people did see this coming, but they were shushed and their task force was packed up and thrown out, and
yeah, all the
here we
things.
are. So it sucks that we all have to suffer together, but I mean, as a nation, we are all ultimately going to be held responsible for this stuff. I mean, as a collective, that's just how it goes.
Okay, so let's find some happier news before we go away.
Yeah, let's see. Quick.
Oh my God.
Well,
Liz Cheney, who is not known for being a lefty liberal, is praising Dr. Fauci and imploring Americans to thank him. He's not partisan. And Liz Cheney is so far right, if you tried to go as far right as her, you would dislocate your shoulder.
well, that's a good thing, because we need people to back him up. We need people in his corner who are willing to vouch for him. And, when he starts pushing back a little bit against what Trump has to say, which we need him to do, he's going to need backup.
Yep, it's true. So that's basically what's going on in the world today.
Yeah. Yep.
Basically, we are all mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Which is to say, we're being kept in the dark and fed bullshit.
That is kind of what it feels like, especially on a day like today. But
yep.
We are thriving nonetheless.
So the check-in is, I'm doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fun with fasting.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 6 days now. Has it been 6 days? Yeah. Doing longer than usual fasts in honor of Ramadan and all of that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. So what are some benefits that you've gotten out of it thus far?
After the initial first day adjustment of my metabolism, I feel good. I have more energy. I occasionally feel pretty happy. There's some serotonin being released. And it improves my willpower.
Good.
Yeah. And it's easier than ever to do a fast for a certain amount of time because we now have apps on I use an app on my phone.
Yeah.
I set it and when I want to start the fast and it tells me when the fast is over. So I don't have to even think about, is it time yet?
Right. Yeah. And the thing about huddling in place is that you know where you're going to be. You don't have to worry about navigating around like outside activities where you're thinking, am I going to be on schedule to eat? It's that kind of thing.
Yep. Well, for that, I throw a paleo bar or two in my pocket.
Yeah.
But it's not like a few years back, there was this great Ramadan commercial. There was this kid. He's sitting there with a hamburger in his hand at the beach, on the pier, and he's just gazing at the sunset. Waiting. I
Sometimes
felt like that before.
it feels like that, yeah. That's really cute, though. I'll have to go find that commercial.
Yeah, I'll find it for you because it was funny as hell the first time I saw it, and it's still funny as hell.
Yeah, maybe we can put a link in the description. I'd love to share it with everyone. So that's what we'll do. So that's what's going on. I am just doing the usual, hanging out, reading the news, listening to the news, keeping myself busy, all that stuff.
Yeah, I make my digital mistress read the news to me.
Needs to make herself useful.
That way I can feel a little entitled.
I see. Yeah, that honking is our ice cream bicycle guy.
We have the same guy. He comes by here too.
Going that 300 plus miles.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so let's yeah, I guess we'll just
wrap it up for the day. Say take care, everybody. Stay safe. Don't buy into the hype. Any hype. Hype is no good. Hype is fattening. Hype will raise your blood sugar. Hype will make you bald. That's what happened to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hype did that?
Hype did that.
But do wear masks if you have them.
Yes. Yeah. Wear masks even if you don't have them.
Bandana.
Yes.
Scarf.
Keffia.
Towel. Keffia, yes. Any of those things.
Really nice Mexican blankets. They work really well. You wear them like a sarape and you just pull it over your face. It's a traditional, tried and true way to do it.
There you go. Keep you dust free and COVID free.
Yep, and a little warm.
So that's what we got, and we're signing off. So take good care till tomorrow.
All right, have fun, boys and girls, and anybody else. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. I liked that. Good job.
Yep. Bye, folks.